Smash and grab at K Jewelers in San Francisco. They not stopping, y'all. Let's get to it.
It happened in a matter of minutes. San Francisco police are investigating after thieves smashed cases at a jewelry store at Stonestown Galleria. The whole thing caught on video. NBC Bay Area's Christy Smith has the story.
Cell phone video caught these tense moments. We spoke with a witness off camera who says loud banging noises at Stonestown Galleria caught their attention. They saw what appeared to be 4 people using hammers or tools breaking glass cases at K Jewelers store in the mall. The store was closed today, but people in the area were just learning about what happened.
I think it's pretty wild. It's unfortunate to say that I'm not fully surprised because, you know, there's just a lot of theft in SF.
Disappointed to hear, but hopefully
Dude said it's a lot of
San Francisco police say just before 7.
Is that how y'all talk? It's a lot of theft in SF. That's just the end of it. Just people just steal and we ain't gonna make no big deal about it. Okay, I got you.
Last night, officers responded to 20th Avenue for a burglary where several men were vandalizing glass displays and stealing. No arrests have been made yet.
You know, we live in a large metropolitan area. I feel like these places tend to lend themselves to this type of crime, so not exactly surprised. It's kind of part and parcel of living in a large city like San Francisco. That said, it's always sort of disappointing to hear about something like this happening in our own community.
While people weren't surprised it happened, they also said they were not aware of incidents like this occurring here.
Stonestown is an extremely comfortable place. You know, we're situated in a really safe part of the city, generally speaking.
We reached out to Brookfield Properties Retail, which runs the mall, and K Jewelers for comment, but have not heard back yet.
You ain't got to worry about it. Listen, any place that y'all saying that y'all getting overly comfortable in, you ain't got to worry about it. They coming to your city. They coming to your city. And it's funny because do you see how we've normalized criminal activity and it's not even a big deal anymore? Oh, you know what? I was expecting it. Not really that big of a deal. I mean, you know, it's large metropolitan areas. This thing happens. No. You don't run into a mall, and we should not be normalizing running into a mall, busting it open. I remember when people used to think about crime and they would say, you know what, that's too risky. I'm not trying to do years in prison. I mean, you got to go into a mall, go and search it out, bust open the thing, hope that the guards and the police, I mean, at least that used to be what it is. I don't know. I guess crime is a little bit different than what it was when I was growing up. In addition to that, two separate shootouts at Chicago restaurants happened over the weekend, or actually overnight. Check it out, y'all.
Local activists came together this evening to call for action. This comes after the mass shooting at Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp restaurant. Then hours later, 3 people were attacked at another restaurant on Chicago's southwest side.
2-person shot. They both are unconscious. Fire's rolling.
You're listening to Chicago police. Frantic 911 calls were made after a shooting here outside Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp after 3 this morning. An argument between 2 groups turned deadly in the Canal Street parking lot. Turns out 4 males were shot. 39-year-old Joseph Garcia was killed. A 27-year-old is in critical condition after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. In the scanner audio, you can hear the 34-year-old man shot in the leg wailing in pain.
We got a shot on the left leg.
That man is listed in fair condition. A 21-year-old is in good condition. The violence this morning didn't stop there.
Irate male, 30s, made threats to the staff.
It turns out the man here made more than just threats. Chicago police tell us before 8:30 this morning, this McDonald's in the 7800 block of Southwestern Avenue turned into a bloody crime scene after a man inside demanded free food. And when that didn't happen, he pulled out a hatchet, injuring a 45-year-old woman so severely that she's in serious condition.
Nah, listen, man, you can't pull out a hatchet and hurt Gam Gam, bro. The last thing that we gonna deal with is you hatchet and Gam up because you demanding free food. What the hell is happening in Chicago? How did Chicago devolve this much to where, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm used to hearing about the late night shootouts because nothing happens good after 3 a.m. Nothing happened good after 12 a.m., to be honest with you. We're not going to the after hour spot. We're not going nowhere. And so if you get up and you get hungry, right? And let's say you just hungry in the middle of the night, either we need to probably just go back to sleep Or if you just dead set on get something, then go ahead and get some DoorDash. Let them risk their lives for it. Ain't that what the gig workers is for? DoorDashers, they don't serve past the time. At least in the city that I'm in, they serve past the time.
Advocate Christ Medical Center. An 18-year-old man and a 45-year-old woman are in good condition. Activists say this wasn't the first time workers encountered the hatchet-wielding man.
I spoke to one of the family members of one of the victims. She's a female. She said that she was chased out of the McDonald's. The offender is known to be a regular. He comes in all the time. They call the police 911, and nothing has been done.
You ain't got to worry about it. We know that listen, nobody is going to get arrested in Chicago unless you assault a police officer. Nobody is going to get arrested in Chicago. When it's a police officer that get hurt, justifiably, they go and get their own. Listen, because they down 2,000 officers. They preparing for the Democratic National Convention. They ain't got time to be chasing no hatchet welding person that's asking for free food, or dudes that decide that they want to be out at 3 a.m. running into each other because they rival crews and they want to shoot up each other and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. Listen, if you are one of the good people that decide that you want to lean more towards conservative and you decide that you want to leave, just leave Chicago in Chicago. Leave your Chicago mentality in Chicago, all right? Okay? All right, last but not least, San Jose community service officer was killed in the line of duty by a drunk driver, I believe. Check it out.
Sunday evening, everyone. I'm Heather Holmes.
And I'm Mike Meback. Tonight, the San Jose Police Department mourning the loss of one of their own.
2 community service officers were hit by a suspected drunk driver, killing one officer and injuring the other.
KTVU's Joey Horta live tonight in San Jose with the latest developments and reaction. Joey?
Mike and Heather, the flags here at San Jose Police Headquarters are flying at half staff right now as police honor and pay tribute to one of their fellow brothers in blue. Police tell us this is the very first time in San Jose Police history that a community service officer has lost their life in the line of duty. Take a look at this officer's photo that we have gathered. Police have not revealed the officer's identity themselves, but a friend of community service officer Long Pham tells us that Pham lost his life. Pham was in his 30s. He's described as a really great dude who was well known in San Jose. Police confirmed 2 of their officers were hit Saturday night while assisting with an unrelated traffic accident at Monterey Road and Palm Avenue. The other was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police say the driver responsible was arrested. They do believe that person was driving under the influence. The suspect's identity has not been released at this point. This tragedy unfolded right in front of Kinsasso's farm.
I could feel the hurt whenever anybody, a human being is a human being no matter what, but above all, somebody that works to help protect people.
What's the difference between a regular police officer and a community service officer? Does anybody know inside of the chat? What's the difference between a regular police officer? Let me see. Community service officer is a non-sworn civilian law enforcement employee who performs a variety of support functions for a police department or other law enforcement agency. Community service officers often work with sworn police officers and may serve in uniform and drive a marked vehicle that duties can include traffic control. So they may direct traffic, public events, and other incidents. They may also issue citations for parking violations and other minor infractions. Crime prevention. CSOs may respond to non-emergency calls for service and take and prepare non-hazardous crime reports and perform initial investigations of burglaries, petty theft, and other crimes. They also do community outreach to service to citizens and enforce certain city codes, to provide police service information to the public. And they may monitor and store evidence and property and serve subpoenas and transport juveniles. So they serve in a police officer's role in non-confrontational situations. And they are not sworn in officers, but ultimately they are civilian law enforcement employees. Okay, So they're the ones that y'all want to show up to the house when y'all defund the police and y'all want a community service officer to show up and say, oh my God, what's going on? Hey, you go into the corner and you go into the corner. But ultimately, they do a lot of the administrative functions and they do all of the things that other police officers don't want to do, it sounds like, all right? But it's unfortunate that this guy got killed by a drunk driver.
Tears you up a little bit.
Police sent us a statement saying in part, quote, our entire police family is heartbroken and our collective arms are around his family, friends, and teammates as we all cope with this painful incident. The mayor also adding each day our officers place themselves in harm's way to fulfill their solemn oath to protect and serve us. They are truly heroes. Ofam graduated from the Community Service Officer Academy in the December of 2022. These officers are civilians who help police with low priority calls like car accidents to free up officers so that they can handle higher priorities. Now, the friend.
So these are people that are actually doing good for their community, and he got killed by a drunk driver. And I don't want nobody to get killed by a drunk driver, let alone somebody that's actually servicing the community. And notice again how it's always the drunk driver that survives, and it's people that are inebriated or under the influence, but the ones that's actually doing good for the community are the ones that die early. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Pray for their families. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Quick Hits.